Okay, so what I'm getting through today is that you're in this place of just being, meaning you have come into full acceptance of where you are, everything that has happened. Yeah, you're in this place of just, I finally accept instead of fighting. Because the last couple while you have been fighting with everything that has been happening because you thought that the decisions that you made a little while ago, a couple months ago, you had an image that it was going to go a different way. In fact, you even expected it to go that way. And when you saw that it didn't, you were fighting with what was happening. And even if you don't think consciously, even if you weren't fighting consciously, you're fighting it subconsciously. And it was like your body was resisting everything that was happening because you literally had a different expectation of where you thought you were going and what you thought was going to happen. And in a way, it put you in this place of kind of being irritated with the divine, with God, angels, your spiritual team, whatever you believe in. It put you in this place of resentment, like what have I done wrong type of thoughts, because you have been devoteful in your faith, in your trust, and you've been put through the ringer of surrendering, letting go, healing, trying to keep your energy right and clear. And you thought okay, just a little bit more and I'll be there. And then you wouldn't get there on your time schedule. So you developed a little bit of a resistance, yes, but resentment and frustration and kind of anger with the divine and your angels, guides, source, whatever you want to call it again. And there was a little bit what is I'm showing up. I'm showing up every single day, even on days that I don't feel like it. Where are you? And you even had discussions with the divine about being where are you? I'm being devoted. I'm expressing my needs and my desires and my gratitude. What is happening? But you see, because you're in this place of full acceptance now, the last little while, because of that resentment, which is why the word resistance came up. Because when there's resentment, there's resistance. Ooh, that literally just came through me right now. That's even a lesson for myself, really. If there's resentment, there's resistance. Sit with that. Feel into that. That's truth. So, yeah, you're being resistant to what was happening because you thought that it was supposed to happen differently. Like you had a different expectation of how things were going to go, and your hopes were so high of like, okay, well, this is how I envision my life now going because I'm leaving situations and things and people that are no longer serving me. So now I should have like a gold mine of all the things that I desire and want and crave. But as we all know, that is not how the divine works. It literally always sends us down a road that we never think we would go on, but it's always the most beneficial road for us, right? We like to think like, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to be with this kind of person. I'm going to live here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to work here or this or whatever. And then it's like the divine God source like smirks at you and is like, okay, you can think that all you want. You can expect that all you want, but we're going to send you on a different journey. And this journey is truly the most beneficial one for you, but you can't see it yet. And isn't that how it always is in our lives? That we can't see where we're truly headed until we're finally there. And then we realize why things have happened the way that they have happened. And it was truly for our highest good. So you're living life now in a surrendered state. And you did choose the surrendered state a while ago. But this was like an initiation of being in a surrendered state and trusting and having faith and letting go and like all the things. And it was truly like the beginning of living in this surrendered state, because most people do not want to live in a surrendered state. Most people are too scared to live in a surrendered state, and they need all the control so that they can feel that they're safe. But you're the one who took the leap. You jumped off the cliff and you surrendered, but in that process of surrendering was all the things that needed to come up to be transmuted. And the first kind of fall, the first leap, when you jump off the cliff and it's really high and then you can't see the ground underneath you, it tests everything in you. It will trust your faith, your trust. You expected maybe not to fall um, so fast or so long, or you expected to already grow wings, and like all your expectations needed to be kicked out of the door, because it's like source is saying, I have something better planned for you and you need to surrender even deeply. So all your expectations needed to be basically kicked out the door so that you can make room for what's really coming into your life now. And so that is where you are at now, because that's a whole process that you had to go through. Like you had to go through. And you've let go of the resistance because you've let go of the resentment. And this is a process. This isn't like something bad that you did. This is just literally every person's process of living this way, of living their highest timeline to the highest version of themselves, right? This is just a process that we all have to go through, and you just went through it. And so you've really like surrendered now, and you're like, whatever. Clearly, it hasn't happened the way that I expected it to, how I wanted it to. You had a bit of that resentment, but it's come to a close now. You're just like, okay, like I've already devoted myself this far to this process. I've already let go of so much that I'm not just going to turn back now. There, like, no, there's no way. And you had a little bit of like fights within you of like wanting to turn back to that safety and that comfort. But when you've been like falling for this long and this far, you're like, what's the point? Anyway, I wasn't happy there. So I might as well really surrender everything that I've got and be so open to what is next for me. So you're there. Like you are currently there in this process of I accept. I accept. I accept where I am currently. No more anger, no more resistance, no more resentment. Just turning your faith and trust back into the divine and being like, okay, you know what's next. Show me the way. And it's almost like that is what the divine God source actually waits for. It's like we're all put through this, so it waits for us to finally let go of every single thing that we have within us and be like, okay, what do I know? Show me the way. You know, my ultimate desire is to live like an amazing life, living my dream life, doing what I want, being creative, etc., etc. And now you're going to be shown the way. You have always been shown the way, but this was just part of everything that you needed to go through so that you could come into this level of full acceptance. And how you know that you are there is because you feel complete utter peace and calm. There's no more like, what if this, what if that, why not this, why not that? There's no more of that. It's just okay, all right, like what else can I do? I surrender it to you. And this is when things will start getting juicy. This is when certain things are going to start to pop up where you're going to be leaded guided down a road of the kind of life you've always wanted to live. But keep in mind, it's still going to be like an unknown path. It's not supposed to be all known. So because you've been doing this for a while, like just keep in mind, it's still a path of complete surrender and faith and trust in taking every single step ahead. But now is when things are going to feel a little bit more stable. And now is when things will start making a bit of sense. Like obviously 10 years down the line, they're going to really make sense. But now it's like, okay, this is why certain things took this long. Or this is why I didn't get this job or end up with this person and blah, 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 blah. Things are now starting to make sense now. And you're going to start seeing things in your life start showing up now because you've come to this place of full acceptance of where you currently are, everything that has happened, everything that hasn't happened. You've come into full acceptance of all of that. So, congratulate yourself because that's a tough journey to go on. And just so you know, not many people actually take this journey. A lot of people want to, but don't have the guts to jump off the cliff. Now, obviously, I'm using this as a metaphor. Some people jump but then they like, no, 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 they stop the whole transition, they end up going back, right? But you've come so far where you're like, no, there's nothing to go back to anyway. I've let it all go. And even if I could, I don't want to. I would go back just because of the comfort. And why? I've done so much work now that you're like this completely different person now. Like you're a completely different person from who you were 6 months ago, even. Completely different. And you know things are going to get juicy. Like you can actually feel it in your body. There is sometimes these doubts in your mind, but you know deep down in yourself that you are always destined for like the juiciness, the radiance, the magnificence of life has to offer. And that's where you're going now. Like you did a big transition. So yeah, get excited. Get excited. Like start having fun, like dance, be creative, go out, start celebrating because that's how it's going to come in even faster now. But like you'll feel it. You'll be like, okay, like I should go out. I should dance. I should put on my favorite song and just dance and celebrate that I've completed this major cycle and transition in my life and I've come to full acceptance where now I just need to enjoy life and it's going to show me the way now. Like things are going to start popping up and I'm going to start feeling like secure. It's almost like, yeah, you were falling off this cliff and you grew your wings, but you didn't really understand how to use them. And so what I'm picturing now, it's like the minute you start using your wings and you understand how to use them. And so it's this like full acceptance of like, oh, wait, this is how it feels to use my wings and to fly and not be so frantic in the fall. And it's like kind of now starting to have fun with falling through the air, with using your wings, right? I hope that makes sense because that just like clearly downloaded in my mind. But yeah, this is super exciting. And I've been feeling this energy a lot, like this fresh, exciting start. I've been feeling that so much, especially into the summer months, like July and August. Like that's been coming up a lot. And I really think and feel that with you watching, like, watch out for things coming up in July and August because that's just been so consistent. And I've been hearing that a lot from other readers, and I've just been tuning into that myself as well. So that's the new beginning. And guess what? You did that because you have accepted where you currently are and everything that you have been through. And that's like closing out the cycle and the chapter and now being ready to just like go off into the horizon of your new chapter. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because this has been long enough, but I'm sending you so much love and let me know how this resonated with you. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.